Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos.
This is the fourth week in the Hebrew month of Sivan. It's also the last week of our fiscal year. So we start our summer series July 1st, next week. So yay, this is the last, in our cycle of ramblers, this is our last rambler until I think next November. So I'm glad you're getting your rambler fix, just saying. We all have a different reason for coming into the sanctuary. So let's take a moment to be together as one community, to breathe in this holy and spiritual time, to reflect on the events of the past week, but to also clear our minds as we get ourselves ready to embrace the spiritual time of Shabbat, a time of rest, peace, joy, and community. And we begin our service in our Sidurim, in our prayer book, on page 24 with the singing of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachem l'shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Tzeitekei l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
To sanctify our Shabbat candles, it is my pleasure to invite to the bima at this time Kathy Lees.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlek ner shel Shabbat.
And I just want to point out that Kathy and I have the same glasses. If you didn't catch that, I don't know if you... Don't be embarrassed. I'll tell the story. Can I tell the story?
Tell the story.
Okay.
Yes, you tell the story.
You tell me if I'm lying. So you what?
all right,
So she came into the temple and she saw my glasses and she said, I have to have those glasses. I said, but they're not your prescription.
Kind of. But in fairness, she sent me to her eye guy.
That's true.
And I really tried on everything else.
I know, but only the rabbi's glasses won.
Only the rabbi's glasses won. So now you're famous because everybody says, I love your glasses. And I said, well, they're really my rabbi's glasses. And that gets them very confused.
It's okay, though.
That's good. Thank you.
It's
Well,
a good story, though, right? It's a good Shabbat story.
flattery, because it was. It was. Great. Right.
Flattery, yeah, one of those. That's right, yes. And with that, we continue on page 20 with Lecha Dodi. When we get to our final stanza of Lecha Dodi, we're going to turn and face the rear of the sanctuary as if we are ceremonially welcoming the Sabbath bride into our midst.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Yishmi'anu el ha'meluchai, Adonai echad, Shmo echad, V'shemo tiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela.
Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Hoi v'shalom, Ateret Bala, Gam b'simcha u'bsola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi kala, Boi kala. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela.
Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Pnei Shabbat, Mekabela.
We continue in our Sidurim. On page 28, we remain standing for Baruch Hu and Shema.
am I awake? Am I prepared?
Are you listening to my prayer?
Can you hear my voice?
Can you understand?
Am I awake?
Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la
We continue on page 35 with Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated.
Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise.
We continue. On the bottom of page 39, let's read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered at Sinai. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day. We continue on page 40 with the singing of Mi Chamocha.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. La 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 Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora Tefillah.
In 6 days, God created the earth, and on seventh day, God rested and gave the people of Israel Shabbat, giving us as an opportunity to rest and rejuvenate. And if God even rested, so much more so do we need to rest, to slow down, or even to stop, and to seriously rest, because it is said that more than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat, it is Shabbat that has kept the Jewish people. So we continue with Vishamru on page 44, followed by Eternity Utters a Day.
1, 2, 3, 4. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam brit olam. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam brit olam. B'nei Yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day. Eternity utters a day. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. Adonai, Svatai, Svatai Titach, Ufi, Yagitehi Latecha. Adonai, Svatai, Svatai Titach, Ufi, Yagitehi Latecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'Nehem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, atah
Leolam Adonai, Mechayeh
metim hatarav lahoshia, morid hatal, mechalkel chaim bechesed, mechayeh metim berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memid umechayeh, umatzmiah Yeshua, b'ne'emana talahachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hametim, atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Will the congregation please be seated? We continue on the top of page 55. Let's read responsively. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle, may all who suffer find solace. May all who despair find purpose. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. We continue with Shalom Rav, which can be found on page 60.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam, Tasim le'olam. Ki atahu melech, melech Adon. Ki atahu melech, Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam, Tasim le'olam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael, v'chol et uvchol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, 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 Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha.
We pause for silent meditation.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. 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 Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ose shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu.
We come now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of the Torah, which can be found beginning on page 249. Will the congregation please rise?
Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim.
Please be seated. We are reading this week from Parshat Korach because we go by the Israeli cycle of Torah reading, and our Torah portion begins with the famous rebellion led by Korach against Moses and Aaron, claiming that the two of them had usurped power from the rest of the Israelites. And after attempting to convince the rebels to retreat, Moses tells the dissenters and Aaron to offer up incense to God, the acceptance which would determine who was the chosen leader. And we're going to find out what happens to Korach and his followers. The earth eventually, miraculously, opens up, and the big sinkhole occurs and swallows up the leaders of the rebellion, and a flame comes forth to consume the other antagonists. You can follow along with in the Etz Chaim commentaries, those large maroon books found underneath the seat in front of you. You can kind of look down and see if there's a book in the seats in front of you. We will be reading starting on page 860. Ta'amod Chana Shena bat David v'Rivka la'aliyah haTorah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayikach Korach ben Yitzir ben Kahat ben Levi, v'Datan v'Aviram b'nei Eliav, v'On ben Pelet b'nei Reuven. Now Korach, son of Yitzhar, son of Kohach, son of Levi, took himself, along with Dotan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, who were descendants of Reuben. Vayakumu lifnei Moshe va'anashim mibnei Yisrael chamishim umatayim nesi'ei eda kari moed anshe sham. And he took them to rise up against Moses, together with 250 Israelites, claiming they were the chieftains of the community chosen in the assembly. These were men of repute. Vayakalu al Moshe va'al Aharon, vayomru elehem, rav lechem, ki kol ha'eda kulam kadoshim, uv tocham Adonai, umadua tit ansu al kahal Adonai. So they combined against Moses and Aaron, and they said, Rav lachem, you have gotten too big, you've gone too far. For all of the Israelite community is holy. All of them has God in their midst. Why do you raise yourselves over Adonai's congregation? Vayishma Moshe vayipol al panav. And when Moses heard this, he fell on his face. Some translators translate that as his face fell. Vayidaber al Korach va'al kol adato lemor. Boker ve'yodea Adonai et asher lo ve'et hakodesh ve'hikriv elav ve'et asher yivchar bo vayakriv elav. And then he spoke to Moses and all of the company, and he said, in the morning, God is going to make known who is holy by granting direct access to the one whom God has chosen, and that will be who prevails.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those of our community and families who are ill and in need of healing. We think this evening of Christian Nystro, Richard Vane, Arthur Lang, Heather Borzak, Dick McLean, Quince Newman, Brooke Ann Gottesman, Bridget Stern, Jim Berry, Jay Field, the Mix family, Len Schutzman, Alan Wolski, Joy Rosenthal, Shari Katz, Mary Jo Wolski, Alyssa Siegel, Gary Tatiner, Cheryl Hildebrand, Cheryl Ball, John Eulenberg, Rhonda Rhodes, David Menikoff, Rusty Taylor, Rabbi Bruce Goldwasser, Rabbi Fred Wenger, Jean Maynard, Jacqueline Sullivan, Julie Melvin, Carol Nymark, Catherine Smith, Marie Saladki, Sarah Warch, and Vic Tussey, as well as all who suffer whom we know not by name. Misha Berach, Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, V'Yaakov, Ve'imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, V'Leah, Hu Yivarech V'Yirapeh et Kol Cholei Yisrael, V'Yishlach Lahem Bimheira, Refuah Shlema, Refuah Tanefesh, Refuah Taguf, and Nomar. Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind, and let us say, Amen.
Korach
Ya'amod Sarnamin ben Levikiva Hagba. Ta'amod Shiri bat Avraham Vasara Golelet. Will the congregation please rise?
V'zot haTorah asher samosha lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe.
Please be seated. It is my pleasure to invite to the reading stand at this time to lead us in the prayer for America and the prayer for the state of Israel, Micah and Sam Lewitton. We continue on page 258 and 259. Sure. Why don't you read this?
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Help us to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we serve you. Bless our country that it will always be a stronghold of peace and its advocates among the nations. May commitment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendships among the inhabitants of all the lands, and may of love of your name hallow every home and every heart. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. Amen.
O Heavenly One, protect and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead it and advise, gaining them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fulfillness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Our service continues on page 256 as we rise to return the Torah to the ark. Never boring. This Torah portion always provides something fun to give a sermon about. And this week's Torah portion focuses on Korach, the story of Korach, who in Jewish tradition is infamous in his challenge to Moses and his challenge to authority. Korach, just like Moses, is a Kohen. He's part of the priestly, not part of the priestly lines like Aaron, but he is part of the family. In fact, he's He's actually Moses and Aaron's cousin, so he has the same status. He has power, but it just seems that he either resents the power that Moses and Aaron have, or maybe Korach got a little bit too big for his britches, as they used to say in Nashville. But according to Torah, he says to Korach, Korach says to Moses and Aaron, Rav Lachem, you have gone too far. And for all of the community are holy, and God is in our midst. Why then do you raise yourself over all of us? And the rabbis of old have criticized Korach. I mean, clearly Moses won the argument because Korach and his followers got swallowed up by a large sinkhole. But that was the punishment for Korach's rebuke of Moses, and it was seen as something based on his own ego. That Korach wasn't bringing this rebellion for the greater good. He was bringing it because he was mad he didn't get power. And this challenge of Moses was akin to challenging God. But the rabbis asked the question, was Korach really so bad? Well, before I answer that, I want to point out an interesting highlight. And the highlight is that in the Torah reading, we only have 5 other people who have a Torah portion named after them. Well, of course, we have Chaye Sarah, because she's the only woman who gets mentioned in a Torah portion. And we don't even talk about Sarah's life. We talk about her death, unfortunately, and basically talks about that. But the other people who have a Torah portion named for them are Noah, because he built the ark, he listened to God, he was righteous in his time. And then we have Yitro, who was Moses' father-in-law, the only non-Jew who was given a, well, I guess technically Noah too, but who was given a Torah portion named after him. And then we have, right here in Numbers, the book of Numbers, we have Balak, Pinchas, and Korach. Every one of the portions had, the people for whom these Torah portions were named had made some kind of groundbreaking, no pun intended in the case of Korach. They had made some groundbreaking thing happen in the Torah. So for instance, Noah was righteous, Pinchas was a zealot, he did the right thing in the wrong way. Yitro was a wise sage, he brought guidance and counsel to Moses. But Korach and Balak, their plans were foiled. In history, regards both Balak and Korach as not such great guys. In fact, Korach accuses Moses of the phrase, Rav Lachem, you have gone too far, whereas Yitro doesn't come to Moses with a challenge. He says instead, Ki chaved mimcha hadavar, the task is too heavy for you. The different approach between Korach and Yitro demonstrate how to respond to leadership with either challenge or constructive criticism. And with the events of this past week, this gives us something good to think about. We have a lot of constructive criticism lost by way of tweets and Facebook posts. But really, if our job is to challenge leadership and to challenge the way things are, we have to do so more the way Yitro did it, constructively, than the way Korach did it, destructively. And maybe that is what the Torah portion leads us to learn this week, is we have to get busy, but in the proper way. Remember that Moses is a flawed leader. He is imperfect. He gets angry and strikes rocks, which teaches us that leaders can be wrong oftentimes. And every time Moses gets challenged in some way, he grows, which shows us what leadership is supposed to do. They're supposed to receive challenges with growth, not with setback. And so we can certainly celebrate and acknowledge that Moses was a full human being with his dark side and with his leadership side, the positive side. Leaders are human. We're called to action for some purpose. Maybe it's a higher calling. Maybe it's really self-serving. Regardless of the purpose, what we can agree on is that being a leader is tough. And so, we have to be careful how we challenge our leaders, because we can do it and a sinkhole swallows us, or we can do it and something constructive grows from it. But now I want to bring you to a fun story. This has nothing to do with the Torah portion, with the exception of many, many years ago. I was the soloist of a congregation in Dayton, Ohio. And I was at a bar mitzvah where the bar mitzvah family asked me to sing a song that they had heard on the radio. And I, believing that I knew the song backward and forward, I didn't need to have the music in front of me, I didn't need to have the lyrics in front of me, well, I started to sing it, and halfway through the song, forgot the words. Now, you would think that as a former songwriter, I would say, no problem, I'll just make up the words on the spot. But unfortunately, nothing came to me. And it was at that moment that I understood that I was having a Korach moment. A moment that I wished the earth could have opened and swallowed me up, because I was so embarrassed. And it was actually a moment that taught me not to be so arrogant to think that I can ever play without the music and the lyrics in front of me, even if I don't use them. It's always good to have sort of the idea of working without a net and working with a net. So, that was my experience with a Korach moment, and maybe you too in your lives might have a Korach moment or two, but hopefully they are few and far between, because they're never fun, but they do make for a good story. Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Tiyeh. We continue with the song Ilu Finu.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for celebrating Shabbat with us tonight. I'm Pat Gibbs and honored to share some short announcements with you this evening. Thank you to our usher, Dubravka Jaraga, and our greeter, Rachel Wood. Thank you, Ramblers, for the wonderful music, and for Roberto Michelasi, thank you for running the sound, and also Officer Vasquez for providing security. Join us on Tuesday nights for Dinner in the Lot, a summer series that starts June 28th, followed by Spirituality Shavara. For all the details on each event, check out our weekly happenings email. Please join us after services for a wonderful oneg in the social hall, sponsored by the Sherman family. Shabbat Shalom.
It is my pleasure to invite Barbara and Mark Turner to the Ark to open the Ark, and I ask the congregation to please rise, and we continue with the adoration on page 283.
Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spread out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. We bow the head in reverence and worship. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, praise be God. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, praise be God. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei Melech Malchei Mamlachim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, praise be God. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, praise be
Please be seated. At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth and whose yahrzeit we commemorate this Shabbat. We recall with love Samuel Primack, grandfather of Lori Hall, George Feinberg, father of Stuart Feinberg, Sue Kahn, wife of Michael Kahn, Bess Leff, grandmother of Michael Glass, Ada Julia Pechter, mother of Marcia Sikora, Howard Rudolph, cousin of Philip Bogalub, Elmer Friedman, father of Karen Friedman, Leah Gronich, mother-in-law of Eric Blaustein, Ralph Kaplan, stepfather of Patricia Friedman, Selma Lampkin, grandmother of Joshua Lampkin, Tyrone Madison, father of Kenya Madison Gabler, Sadie Wolochuk, mother-in-law of Cecile Wolochuk, grandmother of Cheryl Bogalub, Annette Glassberg, mother of Lisa Margulis, George Lux, brother-in-law of Shyla Lux, Zach Nicolopoulos, father of Athena Gilbert, Lillian Berman, mother of Jack Berman, Lawrence Casper, uncle of Alan Wolski, Louis Oshansky, grandfather of Susan Hurwitz, Murray Ritzner, father of Michelle Miller and grandfather of Judy Miller, Rosalind Schneider, step-grandmother of Evan Katz, Margaret Liggett, mother of Catherine Leese, and Pearl, mother of Robin Carlini. We also mourn the recent passing of Gloria Kahn and Ashley Rose, Myra Jetty, cousin of Michelle Miller, and Doug Stevens, uncle of Sherry Katz. Our grief and sympathies are mingled as together we recite Kadisha Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 294. Will the congregation please rise? Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalal u'bizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach leolam omei almaya, yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Please be seated. Our closing song this evening, Lechi Lach, can be found in our Sidurim on page 341, followed by Kiddush and Mutzi.
To a
us always remember how to challenge authority, that it is our job to challenge authority and to do so in constructive and positive ways. Oh God, may you bless us in our endeavor as we get busy going out from this Shabbat. Grant us abundant peace to your people forever, for you are sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless all people in every season and every moment with peace. And let us say together, Amen. Please join me for Kiddush and Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lema'aseh b'reshit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat Chaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'te'avon. Te'avon, everyone. Let's go have a nice cookie in the social hall. Let's go have cookies. I love that your shoes and your purse match. That is awesome.
Is there anything else I can help with?
No, you are amazing. And I think